Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Rising. I'm the moderator for the Elementary Visual Arts community, and I just want to welcome you back to our Fine Arts PLC neighborhood. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about starting off the new year and making some changes that could benefit us all in the art room. It's always a good time to come back from that long holiday break in December and have a fresh start in the art room. So today I'm going to talk to you about how we can go beyond the seating chart and understand the personality of your many classes. Learning student names is often cited as a simple way to create an inclusive environment in your classroom. And I will admit that is one of the things I struggle with the most. And it's not just learning student names, but I just have a problem with that in life. So today we're going to look at some name art lessons that can help us remember names and ways that we can earn trust and build relationships in those classrooms. First, though, let's look at the benefits of creating a positive classroom culture. And again, we're halfway into the school year, and I think we all know these things. But again, January is a great time to review these important factors. So the minute your students first set foot in your class, they are adapting to your classroom culture. Whether or not you build it intentionally, we all know our classrooms have culture. It involves creating an environment where students feel safe and free to be involved. And having a classroom culture is in that you are welcoming and safe and it sets the foundation for better learning. An important first step is to learn your students' names, learn to pronounce them, because our names are our identities. I can't tell you how many times I call out a student name and they correct me. And at first I feel a little defensive, but then I get it. That is their name and it is important to them. Studies show that students feel valued and acknowledged when teachers and other school-related adults take time to learn their names. So I wanted to ask you guys about seating charts. What do you do? Do you use assigned seats or do you let the students sit where they want to? I am always trying to find ways to maximize the most of the time we have together. It's such a short time. It's about 45 minutes in our situation. And I find that seating charts are effective ways to stay organized and help students have a sense of structure in the art room. I do struggle with the time it takes to set up and revise 35 different seating charts, but I do find this the best way for everyone to stay organized. So maybe respond in this discussion to what you do and some ideas that you have for seating charts. I did find an interesting tip from a teacher that was posted online where they used transparency paper and they put it over the seating charts to make notes with an erasable marker. And then each page gets its own sheet. My seating charts right now in January are scribbled out, crossed out, whited out, and it would be nice to keep those things looking like new. So I think that's a great tip. Going back to why it's important to learn student names, as I mentioned, it's the first sign of respect that we can give our students. Learning the names and the correct pronunciation is often cited as a way to create an inclusive environment in your classroom. And greeting students by name tells them that you see them and that you care. And I think it helps you connect to who they are and their identity as individuals. These were some comments that I found in reading about this from some other teachers. And this link below was where I got many of these. The first one that really stuck with me was the quicker we learn the names, the more the kid knows we care. Great. Greet every student by name and learning to pronounce their name is important. Learning a name, pronouncing it right, and matching the right name with the right kid is critical. It's the first courtesy we extend our students. I also found someone pointed out that many of us feel rushed to dive into the curriculum, but taking a quick beginning of the year pause to organize, learn the names, and build community really pays off. And it's not too late to do that. And then another teacher pointed out how they quiz themselves constantly during the first days of school, say the names in their mind as the kids come in the door. So these are all things that we can do, again, even mid-year. So how do we make learning names fun? When the kids are coming back to this classroom for the first time, we want to get them making art. So here are some fun ideas to help you learn student names and a way to show the kids their names are important. Illustrating letters of their name into favorite things, making name art, and class photos. And I'm just going to take a minute here just to show you some of these examples. First are the illustrated letters, and I just pulled up some student work where they've taken the letters and created unique designs to incorporate their interests and show you what they're all about. And this one's really simple. You simply can use markers and colored pencils, and that's really all you need. Another fun project is the making the name tents. With our younger kids, our K through first graders at the beginning of the year, they often struggle with fine motor skills. So you can pre-write their names and let them use torn paper to trace over those letters. And then these examples are just some other ways that you might use or show as an example for students to create their names. Once you have those art projects completed, it's a good idea to take a class photo and then take a picture and have each student holding their name art. That way you can figure out who they are. I do want to point out, if you do this at the beginning of the year, you might wait for a couple of days, because if your school is like mine, we're constantly getting new students at the start of the year. So you want to make sure you have your full class in there. I found this great teacher tip, their idea of making a game out of learning names. So it's kind of twofold. While the students are working, you can use this time to reinforce classroom expectations, art materials, voice levels, and cleanup procedures. And then while you're going over the rules and procedures, make it a point to use as many names as possible when you're going over those rules and procedures. Now, here's where the fun comes in. Once your students are done, announce that you're going to give yourself 3 minutes to practice and test yourself on their names. I would just have them keep their name tags up, run through the names, and repeat them out loud. Take a look at everyone's face. Then they flip their name cards over and see how many of those names you can remember. You can also turn it into a great learning process at the start of the year when the kids don't know each other, and they can also join in on that experience. Finally, now that we've learned their names, how do you continue to earn their trust and build relationships? One of the most effective ideas is to start with projects that are on topic of current student interests. Another thing you can do is try to work in small groups where you pull some of the students who are reluctant to participate and get to know them. And then find out what your kids most look forward to in art class and how they feel about the creative process. Maybe you did this at the beginning of the year, and at the start of the new year, mid-semester, it's also a good time to check back in. And here are some examples of some art class surveys that you might try. With the younger kids, they may be less inclined to fully write and fill out that information, so you might use a multiple choice type of survey or have something drawing pictures. But those are the things we can do, whether it's in August when we're starting back to school, or in January when we're first coming back from a long break, to do those things to make sure our students have a feeling of belonging and we create a culture where everyone feels comfortable. Hope you found this little tidbit interesting, and do share with us what you do with seating charts. If you have some great ideas or some things that work or even some things that don't work, share that out with the group. Hope you guys have a great evening. Bye.